welcome back to Shanahan Militaria. In today's video we're covering a World War II item that I have in my collection, and what we're covering is this. This is my Mark I Bren gun dated 1942. I have some other components for this, so we're going to put this on the floor, we're going to have a quick look at it, and I'll tell you some interesting facts about the Bren gun. So here we have my Bren gun collection, shall we say. Now this, I believe the box is 50s, I'm not sure, it could be World War II. But this is my spare parts wallet and barrel carrier, but this is dated, I don't know if you can see it there, it is dated 1944, so this is World War II. As I said, this is part of my World War II collection. So I'll just open the top cover here now of the transport box. There are pieces missing. I believe there's a cleaning rod that goes here. I will try and do a bit more research and try and complete this box with its items it needs. This is the cover, shall we say, for the Bren gun when it has been in stores or on the field, when it has been used on static position. So that's the cover. Then this is the actual Bren gun itself, which we will get into in more detail in a second. And I do have two magazines for the gun itself. And I also have the sling mounts for the 303 sling for the Bren sling. So I'm just going to put this on the actual weapon itself so you can see it. Now the Bren gun itself, this one is completely deactivated due for Irish laws. I have the paperwork and stuff with it, so it is as much good as a paperweight. It is a cock and click though, which is good. So it is the old spec deactivation. This is the Mark I version, but it is the Mark I modified version. So I'm just going to move the carry-in or the transport case and have the gun on its own, and we will talk about the gun in particular. So here we have the Bren on the floor, and we're going to look at the Bren itself in detail. So the Bren came into existence in the 20s and 30s. It's actually a Czechoslovakian design, and the word Bren is a abbreviation word. The B R in Bren stands for Breno. If you forgive my Czechoslovakian, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce that word. That's where the actual gun itself was designed. It's actually a Czechoslovakian design, and it's designed on the ZGB-33, forgive me, I think that is the correct numerical number for that gun. But the BR stands for Bruno or Brino, where in Czechoslovakia where the gun was designed, and the EN stands for Enfield, so that's how it got its name. Now this model here that you see in front of you, this is the actual Mark I modified. Now by what I mean by Mark I modified was, after Dunkirk, sorry, the actual gun itself was trialled during the 20s and 30s, and the British decided to put it into service in 1938, just prior to World War II. Now this one itself is the Mark I mod, and what makes it the mod or the modification is, after Dunkirk, because of the British retreating so much and so quick from France, they left an awful lot of Bren guns behind them. So they had to manufacture these as quick as they possibly could to replace the ones that they lost. Now if you see back here on the butt, there's a little hole here, or a catch. There should be an actual handle there on the Mark I. And then up here on top there's a plate that helps for your shoulder. It also doesn't have the dovetail mount here for a sight if it's in the sustained fire roll that was milled onto it, and it has other lightning cuts and stuff like that around the body that were left on this one and on the Mark I. They were apparent, you could see them. Now the thing about this is, the reason that was done was, as I said, was to speed up manufacture and stuff like this, to get as much of them back into service as they possibly could. This weapon itself seen service in the British Army, Irish Army, different armies, all the way up until the 90s nearly. There were modifications made to it. It was rebarreled and the bolt was redone for a 7.62 by 51, and they seen service up in the Falklands in that configuration. Now here you have the Mark 1 sight, which is a dial sight or a drum sight. So you literally just click it and your little ramp will lift to what range you want, and here on the inside there is actually it's numerical, there's numbers so you can see what range you're up to. Now the actual effective range of this is 1,850 yards. It's what's known as the harassing zone. The rounds will go out to that far, but accurately, with a good gun, you're talking 600 to 700 yards accurate fire with this firearm or this weapon. It is so slow in its relation to fire that a good operator can nearly, even on fully automatic, can manipulate the trigger that they can get off single shots. It fires 500 to 520 rounds per minute, so it's a very slow firing gun. The length of the weapon altogether is 42.9 inches. Without the barrel alone, the barrel alone is 25 inches. So it's a fairly substantial weapon, and the weight of it, if you're carrying this thing around long enough, you'll feel it, because it actually weighs 22.83 pounds, or if you're in the Newton scale, that's 10.35 kg. So there you go. So yeah, so it's a fairly substantial weapon. This one, I'll show you here, is actually marked. There you go. It's 1942. There are other markings on it. There's a marking there, and then here on the pistol grip you see 66. That is the stores number. So yeah, it's a fairly substantial weapon. As I said, it is part of my World War II collection. I do hope to be getting into World War II reenacting, hopefully this year. So this will be probably brought along to shows and stuff and kept as a static display, because I don't fancy carrying it around. Sorry, I forgot to tell you, it is gas operated as well. It is a gas operated machine gun with a tilting bolt, and it is in the open bolt, works in the open bolt position. So what I mean by open bolt, so let's take off the magazine because I can show you, because this is cock and click. See here? I don't know if you can see it very well, but in here you actually have the bolt, right? So that's the bolt completely forward. If I cock it, the bolt goes back. I put the cork and handle forward and I close it off, because what would happen was you'd have undue wear. This thing will keep getting slammed up and down, and you don't want that, so you put it in the upper position. So your bolt is open, and underneath here the shells fall from underneath, or the spent cartridges will fall from underneath. So when I squeeze the trigger, the bolt goes forward. That's what it means by open bolt. Your round goes through the barrel. The explosion, shall we say, your round or your bullet will fly through the barrel. The gases will come back down through the piston block, and then they will push the bolt open again. Same thing again, squeeze the trigger and away you go. But the gas will constantly keep it going once your finger is on the trigger. So that's just a quick overview how this operates. It is a two-man crew firearm, but it can be operated by one once you have somebody bringing you ammunition. So yeah, so there you go. It is a very simple, well, I won't say simple, but it is a nice operating gun, and guys that I know that have carried this or have used this speak very, very highly of it. And it's one of those either love-hate relationships. Some guys hate it because of the weight, and other guys love it because how accurate it was and how easy it was to use. So there you go. I hope you liked today's video. If you do like the content that's on the channel, please like, please subscribe, please hit the notification. Don't be afraid to leave the comment below in the comment section. And as always, if you want to get in contact with the channel in relation to see if you've seen a piece of equipment, or if you want to donate a piece of equipment, whereas you give it to me, I will do a video on it and send it back, or if you wish to just donate it to the channel, that is completely up to yourself. That email will be at top of the video description as always. So thank you.